And now we're going to share with you a guide to flavoring and bottling kombucha.
So second fermenting your kombucha is dual purpose. First off, it gives it flavor.
Yeah.
And then second off, it builds up the carbonation, especially when you use bottles like this that are airtight. Swing top bottles, or there are some other bottle options as well. You're going to build up the carbonation when the yeast eats the sugars and produces carbon dioxide. Okay, so we're going to do this quick and easy, super simple in just 12 steps.
12.
Okay, so step one is to throw
Shoot
the rubber band
across the room. Yeah, buddy.
Okay, so first off, we're going to...
Wash your hands.
Yes, Kevin's going to wash his hands. We have our sweet tea already made here because this isn't a making kombucha class. This is a how to bottle and flavor kombucha. So we already have our sweet tea made. We're going to remove our scobies, along with, and then we're going to stir and stir.
So you're going to stir the kombucha that's already brewed to get all of the...
To play with the bubbles that appear. Isn't that beautiful?
That wasn't sealed. Okay, so we stir that to mix everything up because there's stuff inside there that you need in here.
There's yeast that settles at the bottom, and you want to make sure to equally distribute it throughout all of the kombucha.
We're going for 1 cup. Boom. All
Good
right.
measurement, babe.
Yeah, you know it.
Okay, so this is going to sit for another 2 weeks.
Oh.
And then it'll be good to go again.
Good to go. Okay, step 2 is you're going to take the kombucha and you're going to pour it into a pouring device that's going to be easier to pour into this guy because that's not going to work.
Okay, step 3 is to pick your bottles. These flip top work great. These are 33 point something ounces. You could also go with the 16 ounces that are the same type of bottle. You can also use stout, Boston Round, ring neck bottles. And if you want to save some money, you can buy kombucha that is bottled and just hold on to those bottles.
There's a flaw with step 3 though. You should pick your bottles before you get to this step.
You definitely should.
Just so you know. So pick your bottles is like step 0.03, but who's counting?
Yes.
Step 4, add your flavoring to the bottle.
Now, with these 33 ounce bottles, you want to go with about a half cup of fruit. With the 16 ounce bottles, you want to do about a quarter cup of fruit and kind of relative to whatever size your bottles are. Today, we're going to do 3 different flavors. So our first flavor is going to be a cherry boost, which is cherries, dried cranberries, and rose hips. So we have 1/2 cup of cherries, a quarter cup of dried cranberries, and then about a tablespoon of rose hips. Okay, our second flavor is peach berry. We're gonna do, we actually have nectarine here because I couldn't find an organic peach. So we're gonna do a 1/2 cup of peach and about a quarter cup of raspberries. And then lastly, we're going to do a peach cobbler, which is peach or nectarine, along with cinnamon and vanilla bean. That would have been bad. So for the cinnamon, we're actually going to do a cinnamon stick, and I'm just going to drop this in here. Kevin's going to take the half of vanilla bean, split it down the middle, and kind of open it up. Now, all of these flavors are listed on the Bucha Challenge sheet. We have 50 flavors of second ferments that you can do. We're actually doing a contest, and if you're the first person to get through and try all 50 flavors, you get a $100 gift card to Azure Standard. Step 5 is to experiment with adding sugar or honey. No, we're not going to add any, actually. So this is one of those things that there are a lot of variables that go into your kombucha and your second ferments. Number 1, you've got the sugar content of the kombucha that you're starting with. Number 2, you have your taste preference on how sugary you like your drinks at the end. We like ours a little bit less sugary. So we tend to do a little bit less sugar. And so with each of these, we have cherries, we have raspberries and peaches, and we have peaches. So I am going to trust that between the sugar content that is in our bucha, along with the sugar that is in here, we're gonna be good. Now, if your bucha is highly fermented and or you're not adding anything with sugar content, like sometimes we'll do a hibiscus kombucha where it's just dried hibiscus leaves.
Or ginger.
So there's not a lot of sugar to eat. At that point, we're gonna wanna add in sugar because otherwise it will not build up that carbonation because the yeast won't have anything to eat.
Okay, step 6 is fill your bottles with the already brewed kombucha.
Now, you're gonna wanna leave about a 1 to 2 inch headspace. This is again something that you're probably gonna wanna experiment with. The least amount of headspace, the better, because when you have less headspace, it's going to have less air and it's going to become more fermented. Whoa, babe, stop. Step 7 is to seal your bottles tightly and to label them with the name and date with permanent marker.
Right here?
Yes.
Right here, right now.
Step number 8 is to record in your bucha log. Check it out.
When you sign up for the Bucha Challenge, we'll send this along with it too. Step 9 is to let these sit out on the counter for about 2 to 4 days and let them ferment.
Step 10 is going to be refrigerate them for 6 to 8 hours.
You want to do this before you taste them because when you refrigerate them, it helps the carbonation get held onto by the liquid. They have more of a tendency to explode if they're not cold. And if when you do taste them, you're concerned that they need a little bit more fermenting, it's okay. You can take them right back out of the fridge, return them to the counter, and then put them back in a day or 2 later. Step 11 is to track your progress. Record what you like, what you don't like in your bucha log, and come up with favorite flavors to make over and over again for your family.
Alright, step 12 is going to be enjoy and share with your friends.
And strain if you want to.
Yeah.
That's totally a personal preference.
Don't want to pick it out of your teeth.
So it is like, it's pretty carbonated. Alright, just in case, like I don't think this is gonna explode.
Yeah, just do it.
But
I want it on tape.
okay, so when you do have a bottle like this that's kind of showing signs of explosion, I've opened it a few times and it's going to expel. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tip it over this. That's how you deal with explosions.
What?